Sometimes album art cover just goes bonkers crazy, and I'm glad that that happens on occasion. I mean, just look at this. Oh, man. Welcome back to Y.E.S, everyone. Today we're going to talk about Dropped Frames Volume 1 by Mike Shinoda. This is Shinoda's second solo studio album released. I listened to Post Traumatic 2 years ago, and while I didn't love that album, there was a lot of it that made me think, alright, well, I get where it's coming from. It does have that Linkin Park-esque feeling to it, so I had an overall enjoyable experience from that point of view. And now we have this. And apparently there's a volume 2 that came out recently. I didn't know that. So maybe we'll get a review of that one as well. But for now, this is what we're talking about. This is essentially a project for Mike to be able to give us some of his production or mixing, sound engineering. There's probably tons of words that we could really categorize this album as, because we're not really getting too many vocals from him personally. It's really only the first song in here that we're really getting him as a vocalist once again. There are other songs that kind of have vocal things in there, but it's not really him that we're getting. However, we are getting some pretty interesting music from him. There's a lot that I like and a lot that I feel like I would leave up to other people to try and decide for themselves. This is a supremely different album from Post Traumatic or anything from the Linkin Park catalog for that matter. Nu metal becomes disc jockey in an experimental kind of way here. There are not too many beats in here where I feel like there would be a similar mood. You could definitely pinpoint things that are similar because most DJs or most engineers of music would be able to bring something in that makes you realize, okay, this is the style of this person. So there is a consistency here, but each song really is trying to be its own thing. Like the song Duckbot, which kind of has a pop start to it. But then it becomes somewhat more robotic for the second half. Cupcake Cake, yes, that is what it's called. Cupcake Cake is kind of more of an Indian vibe. I can't necessarily say Bollywood. I wouldn't be sure if that would be accurate or not, but from that region of the world, that's what we're finding here. El Rey Demonio. This has an interesting beat because at times I feel like it's kind of a Spaniard vibe, but it also at other points made me think it was somewhat going for Arabic. The song Osiris is kind of an oriental kind of beat, and while I enjoyed it, this one was a little too slow for the majority of the song. And on another note, for one that definitely surprised me, is Session McSession's face. I love the way that this song starts out. Definitely unique, and of course a very unique title here. Most of the songs in here actually have pretty unique titles. This is one where I would definitely say, if you're going to try and delve into this album and see which one you think you like the most, that's probably the one that I would recommend first. And now, while I do admire for all the range and diversity that this album has with each individual song, every once in a while there is a song that just kind of makes me feel like, well, I don't know if I would replay that one as often. That seems like it should come off as obvious because people tend to have songs that are favorites even if they think the album as a whole is amazing. There are songs that you just kind of naturally go back to. But I can honestly say that while you can admire kind of where the beat goes or how you get initially interested in the song, and the songs aren't long, but after a while it does feel like sometimes it doesn't push itself as far with its creativity to be able to keep you there for the end of it. And that's not a lot of songs. That's just something I noticed for some, maybe a quarter of the songs, something like that. This album, I strongly feel, is all about nitpicks because we are literally seeing something different from Shinoda. I don't know if what he's done in other productions, but as a solo artist, we don't have much to compare to with this. And we'll see if he does that more with his next volume. I'll have to see if I can get around to that. I really would like to. I just have so much music I want to review. Now, there was a part of me that did think this is better than average, but was it really worthy of release? Could this have been a mixtape? And I think, yes, it definitely could have been. But at the same time, I kind of like the idea that we're getting something just different and maybe to an extent experimental. I will say the music in here could provide a great light show. If you had this in a rave or just at a concert of some kind, I can imagine lots of interesting lighting being played and acted out with the music in here. I think it would give some different and fresh entertainment for an audience like that. So guys, after having listened and reviewed this album, I'm going to give production an A-. I'm going to give creativity a B-. And expression and lyrics, I'm going to give a B. And if you were to ask me how would I recommend this album, I would give it a good. I do think you should all give it your own shot because some of you might really dig this and some of you might feel exactly how I felt. I guess some other people could see this as boring, but I wouldn't personally go that far. It might just not be your thing, but I don't think it's bad at all. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to follow me in my social media, links down in the description, and be sure to leave me one of these, a like for the video, and a comment down below if you want to engage with me. Also, if you want to discover, promote, and review the best in entertainment, be sure to subscribe to this channel so you can get that yes in your life. See you next time.